Hi, this is Yaffi Lvova, registered dietitian nutritionist with Baby Bloom Nutrition, and this is nap time nutrition. A little bit early. Usually I do this at 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 4 p.m. Eastern, but today my mother in all her wisdom has decided I need a self-care day, so that's being enforced, and I'm not really arguing. So here I am, nap time nutrition, and we're going to be talking about sugar addiction. Well, as I said, Baby Bloom Nutrition, I do private and small group counseling for any of your nutrition obstacles between pregnancy and toddlerhood. So check out my website at babybloomnutrition.com. And I already have a viewer, so... Oh, baby knocked his head. Hold on. Hey, what's that? Oh. Daniel, as always, is joining us with some beautiful spit up. Okay. I try to be professional and all the best intentions, all the best intentions. Okay. All right, here we go. Sugar addiction. So, fad diets. We are constantly, as a society, demonizing or deifying things. It was fat, it was carbohydrates, and now, I get it. I know you do, Tiffany. It's a new mom thing, right? Or like new mom again. He thinks it's funny. Okay, well, I'm glad you appreciate my lack of professionalism because at least I'm keeping it real, right? Okay, so we're always demonizing or deifying something. There is always something that is either going to kill you in 1 second or it's going to completely save your life. And the truth is that with a lot of things, we go back and forth. The same thing one day is going to kill you and the next day is going to be like the best thing in the world. And the perfect example of this is coconut oil. And I'm not going to go on my rant again. You can look back on my video archives because I did definitely go on a rant about this ridiculous coconut oil thing. Long story short, it's fine. It's not going to save your life. It's not going to kill you. Anyway, so today, sugar addiction. This is really a big thing going on right now, and people are reporting some very interesting findings. So I want to start by saying what the definition of addiction is. The definition of addiction, when you think of addiction, what do you think of? I think of someone standing on a corner doing anything to get their next hit. That doesn't apply to sugar. It's not like I'm standing outside CVS with like the shakes being like, oh, I need the Snickers, I need the Snickers. No, it doesn't happen. And the truth is that, yeah, if you've got diabetes and you have low blood sugar, that can happen. I will get into that. But that's not an addiction. That's something that's different with you physically that changes your physiology and makes sugar a little bit different for you than for other people. So there was a study, I'm sure a lot of people have heard of, that compares the response to sugar in the body to cocaine. Well, this study was done on rats, and we have no context at all. We can't really apply it to humans. There's no context for it. We don't know if these rats were being deprived sugar elsewhere. We don't know if they had grown up being afraid of sugar because it's going to make you fat. We don't know if they had any emotional connection otherwise to sugar. So that's why we can't really relate that to how it is with humans. We have a whole different mindset when it comes to food that these lab rats don't. I mean, I'm assuming. I think it's a safe assumption. So, right, no context. The definition of a craving, the definition of an addiction. Something is not an addiction if you don't build up a tolerance to it. So if you eat a Snickers one day, do you need 2 Snickers the next day in order to feel the same pleasure? No, that's why it's not an addiction. Do you have to keep eating more progressively in order to feel the same pleasure? No, so it's not an addiction. Is there suffering when you stop eating it? And this is a real point of contention because some will argue no and some will argue yes. So let's get into that. What are the symptoms of sugar withdrawal as it's being portrayed? He really likes my notes. You like my notes. Brush your teeth, dude. He's got them coming. So the reported symptoms of sugar withdrawal are headache, nausea, anxiety, depression, cravings, hunger, fatigue, muscle aches, bloating and gas, insomnia, boredom, and sweats and chills. These are the reported symptoms of sugar withdrawal. So aside from the bloating and gas, because I have no idea where they're getting that, the rest of this, they're all symptoms of low blood sugar. Does that mean that you need to run out and eat sugar? No, it means that you need to eat something. You get low blood sugar when you don't have enough food in your system. So let's just absorb that for a second. We use the word sugar in the diet and sugar in the blood. It's the same word, but physiologically it's not the same thing. You get low blood sugar if you need to eat anything, really. And what's going to fix low blood sugar? Either sugar or some other kind of food. If you put food in your system, your blood sugar will regulate. Now, it really also depends on certain physiological aspects as well. If you're diabetic and you have a low blood sugar, that's going to be dealt with differently than if you're me. I haven't eaten all day because my kids are running around and I didn't have time to sit down to a meal. That's going to be different because I'm not a diabetic. But so what I'm saying is that yes, you will experience those symptoms of sugar withdrawal if you are used to having 3 big gulps a day and you just eliminate those 3 big gulps a day and don't replace them with any other source of calories, because you're just missing calories at that point. You need to make sure that you're eating. If you decide to forego sugar at any given time, you need to still eat, though. You need to eat something, because you're going to get those symptoms otherwise. So why do we desire sweets at all? Why are we programmed to like things that taste sweet? Well, because it's fast calories, because your body will absorb it and use it for energy quickly. And one could argue that a long time ago, when food was more scarce, and at various points in our history when food was scarce, we needed to have access to food that would be absorbed quickly in the body and give us immediate energy. And that's why we like it. That's also why we like alcohol. Alcohol has 7 grams of 7 calories per gram, and that's more than you get from carbohydrates or sugar. And the reason why we like the taste of alcohol, as bitter as it is because it gives our body fast calories. And that's something that's necessary in certain times of food scarcity. Sadness and my cycle require chocolate. Well, you know what? I'm not going to argue with that. Chocolate's good. You know what? Chocolate has some major benefits. It gives you an endorphin rush. It gives you a lot of micronutrients, antioxidants. I like chocolate. Who doesn't like chocolate? Okay, so progression of cravings. When you get hungry, if you ignore your hunger signals, which obviously I'm against ignoring your hunger signals. You should always eat when your body tells you to. You're first going to start out by craving something. I feel like eating now. That moves to, I really need to eat something right now. At that point, you're going to move from a craving something like a burger to, I need a big bowl of pasta. And it progresses more towards simple sugars. And it progresses more towards fast sugars, something that you can eat, absorb, and turn into energy right away, because the body is so smart. It needs something, and it needs you to give it to it right now. So deprivation results in sugar cravings. So the idea is don't deprive in the first place, and you can head off that type of sugar craving that way. Lack of calories during the day overall is going to cause you to have desire for sweets at night, because your body needs the calories and it needs it fast. So if you, through your schedule or through deprivation for weight loss, are just missing out on important calories during the day, it means that later on at night you're more inclined to sit down with Netflix and a pint of ice cream. Also, there's a mental deprivation aspect. This is called the restrict-binge cycle. If you are intentionally restricting food in your diet, that's going to cause a preoccupation with food. And that's going to cause you to need that sugar. So that's where mindset equals addiction. And this is still not technically an addiction, but this is where your mind has spiraled throughout the day, focusing on that pink elephant in the room, focusing on that ice cream or that Snickers or whatever it is. And you're telling yourself the whole day, I can't have that, I can't have that, leads to a preoccupation. It means that at some point you are likely to break and binge on that. And that's not healthy physically or emotionally. So all of this taken into account, I believe in moderation. If If you want some chocolate, have some chocolate. Fulfill your desire in a moderate way. Sit down with no distraction and enjoy the taste. Enjoy the feeling in your mouth. Enjoy the baby trying to take over your newsfeed. And you're less likely to overindulge on it. Eat when you're hungry, stop when you're full. And in other ways, you won't require it. If you really eat when you're hungry and stop when you're full, you're not going to experience so many cravings. So why do I try to leave sugar out of my recipes? The recipes that I post and the recipes that I do at Toddler Test Kitchen. Because sugar is everywhere. Sugar is in everything. It's sometimes even in boxed broth that you could buy at the store. It's in the most unexpected places, and it really bombards your senses. So I try to leave sugar out of the recommendations that I make just because I know that it's everywhere. And I don't need to tell you that a Snickers tastes good. You know that. So anything you hear from me is going to have less sugar. And it's not because I think that it's going to kill you. It's because I want to give you a tool for something that isn't sweet. Because there's plenty of it around and you know where to get it. Moral of the story, moderation. Stop deifying and vilifying everything. There is no one food that will save you or one food that will kill you, aside from allergies that you may have. So that is my nap time nutrition for today. Next week I'll be back normal time, 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, which is the same as Pacific right now, and 4 p.m. Eastern Time. So come to Toddler Test Kitchen, hhcm.org/toddler/TTK. Come to my nap time nutrition next week, normal time. I don't have a subject yet, but I've got something brewing. Thank you, Tiffany. And Daniel says thank you. Pinterest.com/Yaffi. Instagram, I'm trying to be better. I did post today. And Facebook Live, right here, you're already on it. So follow me, share me with friends, and see you next week. Thanks.